Hey, hey, what's going on, people? I would say welcome like it's a show, but just wanted to go live. Of course, we know the big news of the week has been Coach Saban and his retirement. And now we apparently have a new coach. It's not been made official yet, not by press conference, but it is official via certain statements. And if you go on the Alabama athletic website or rolltide.com, they already have it on there. But Coach Kalen DeBoer will be the new head coach of Alabama. And of course, I want to come up and talk about it. I want to hear what you guys think about it. So make sure you drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll get a few comments on screen. Got my producer back there working hard to get the graphics and the questions on screen. And I wanted to invite several former Alabama players on to talk. I believe some of them are backstage, still waiting on one or two more to get here. But I see two of my brothers on, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring them on the stage. They are no stranger to championships, no stranger to Coach Nick Saban. Trent Richardson and Reggie Rag, brothers. Oh, let me get them in there. Okay. Fellas, what's going on?
Man,
Hello out there in
Now,
TV land.
which one of
hey,
y'all called in from the club? Because it's super loud.
It was definitely gin and juice over there.
Reggie, we gonna mute you for a second. Good
My
lord.
side, Reggie.
Yeah, he done tapped in from the from a club of talented dancers. That's not important. Uh, but Trent, first thing first, brother. I'm loving the jacket. You know, representing the iron.
Got to, man. Got to.
Yeah. So we got quite a few people in here on Facebook and YouTube, and y'all make sure y'all share, get people in. Producer, I'm hearing the echo. I don't know if y'all hearing that too.
No,
Yeah.
I ain't hearing it.
Oh, I'm kind of hearing the echo of myself. So let me stick one ear out. Yeah. But Trent, I'm gonna ask everybody this, and I think Reggie will come back on once he gets to a quieter spot. But brother, what are your initial thoughts when you heard about this hire, the Washington Huskies? I know you well, so I'm looking at your face. But Coach DeBoer from Washington, who was just a few days off of playing in the national championship game against Michigan. What were your initial thoughts?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, bro. It's tough for me to see a guy that's not from the SEC and I can't say nothing bad about the coach. I've never seen him coach. I never got to see. I didn't really watch Washington that much this year. So I don't really know nothing about him or his program, what he run. I know he was a national championship this year. I do understand that he got coach of the year. But it's hard for me to say that they're gonna bring a guy in that's not an SEC guy.
Mm,
And that's not down talking him, but we just really talking actual facts. You talk about Bama, and the guys that they have selected, especially in the Alabama era, like between Alabama and Auburn. And we seen how Auburn did with a guy that's not from the SEC. They got him out of there real quick, which they get all their coaches out of there pretty quick. No shade to Auburn, but uh, but bro, it's a challenge. But it's like, man, are we going to? Are the Bama fans? They've been spoiled so long. Are the Bama players, the alumni, the fans going to be acceptable to a guy that's not in the SEC,
mhm.
um, who's never coached under Coach Saban at all? And
Mhm.
it's just like, man, where does the root come from with this? Like, where's the olive branch that was like, hey, you been a part of this program or you done got some of this pedigree in you. Come on in. That's hard for
Yeah.
me to see that. And if Coach Saban has something to do with the picking of this, which 9 times out of 10 he's never wrong, but on
Right.
this one right here, If he had a part of this hand, it's hard for me to sit there and see. And it's a lot of people who didn't couldn't take the job, like who don't want to
Right.
take the job behind Coach Saban. Let
Mm-hmm.
somebody else come in there for a year or two or whatever, and we'll come in after them.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I've heard a lot of that talk. So
What?
I hope it's all blessings to him though, bro. I want this man to
Right.
do good. We need for him to do good. We praying. We here for him. I know Kurt said something the other day about being a DB coach. He'll love to come be the DB coach. I know this guy gonna bring his own guys in.
Drake Kirk.
Hell, yeah. If Dre go do it, hell, I go be the running back coach, man. Listen, I'm open up for it, man. I'm pretty sure Reggie, cause we don't want this to go downhill, bro. We want our legacy to live on, bro. Like, listen, I'm down for it, man. I'm right here in Alabama. I'm right here in Birmingham. Shit, there ain't no but 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
I go down there every day, man, and be the running back coach, man.
Yeah. Well, so you covered a few things, and I was taking notes and listening. So the fact that he's not of the SEC, I think you touched on something important, that a lot of the guys that come from the Saban tree, they just weren't available right now. A lot of them, they got pretty good situations. When you're thinking about, wait, is something wrong with my sound? I think I can. I don't think I can hear Trent. Oh, okay. He went off. Okay. No, you can keep him on screen. Okay. Okay. Well, we lost connection. All right. But I'll disagree a little bit with, because he's not in the SEC. I think that could be a plus, because everybody from the Saban tree, if we bring in somebody from the Saban tree, we know what the expectations are. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you've got to do what Saban did immediately. But going outside, I think it takes a lot of the pressure off of Coach DeBoer. And I don't think he's scared to take the position. I think a lot of those guys, not only did they have other good jobs, but I think they're a little hesitant to follow Coach Saban. And he's a proven winner, and that's what you want. Like, we saw that he can get his team to the big games, to the playoff, and that's what you want. He did it with the resources at Washington. So what could he do with the resources at Alabama? And then Trent mentioned, will the fans be accepting of this coach? He got millions of fans, so it's going to be some different reactions. But just for me as a fan, not a former player, I'm accepting of him. I'm looking forward to see what he's going to bring. It's just exciting. I think Coach Saban, the last lesson that Coach Saban is leaving us is next man up. You know, you don't have no time to moan and pout about, him leaving, who's going to retire. You gotta move on. And that's what he said. He pretty much said he made his decision in like gotcha, in about 5 minutes before he told his team. So he's moving on. If he's moving on, I'm moving on. I'm ready to accept our next coach, accept what our next challenge is going to be as a fan base, as an institution, as a program, all of that. And then you brought up Drake Kirk. It was going to be, I do hate that Drake Kirk Jr. Won't get a chance to play for Saban, because that was going to be our first legacy. You know what I'm saying? That, we had Dre and Dre Kirk both played for, well, I guess Mark Ingram and his dad would be the first legacy, but this would have been the first Bama legacy. Because, his Mark Ingram's dad played for Saban at Michigan State. And then, of course, Mark Ingram, the first Heisman winner.
He wasn't the head coach.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So, yeah, that I hate that, but Saban also taught us, he don't do all that sentimental stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I try not to do it when possible. So, but that was just my little thing as a Bama fan. I would have loved to see that. But knowing that guys like you and Dre are around and still willing to help the program, I think that means a lot. And I also think we got somebody else ready to jump in. I'm looking at my producer, Cliff. All right, yeah, let's bring him on. Bring him on. What it do?
What's up? What's up, y'all? How y'all been?
Why
Man, you
why did
sound
I know why did
real.
I know you was gonna be somewhere like laid up and chilling? Well, Cliff,
I
we know you, but kind of introduce yourself to the people watching, man, because they might think you a former player or coach or something.
Oh no. I'm definitely not no former player. I ain't got the body for it. But my name is Clifford Watkins. I'm from the Joe Lockett Show. If you know about the Joe Lockett Show, you know me as nephew. Um, I'm the co-host over there, and I'm also one of the producers for him. So, do my thing over there.
Yeah, any ties to Alabama as a fan or as anything else?
I I worked up there as like as one of like the what they called it, the unarmed security guards. I did that for like 2 years. So
Yeah.
that's the most you got from me.
Well, I was trying to paint the picture to let them know that you're not a person that has like a deep allegiance to Bama. So
Oh
when
no
we
no no no.
yeah, usually when we ask you Alabama questions, you'll give us a good insight as a non-Bama person, and we need that on the show.
Oh yeah. The unbiased view.
Yeah,
Unbiased.
Oh yeah,
I
most definitely, man. Yeah, hey, don't forget he's still on the ropes with the TR3 now. Everybody on here with that
Yes
now.
sir.
yeah.
Yeah,
I got a few more questions for everybody. We're waiting on Reggie to jump back in, and then we're gonna take some comments from the crowd. Let me see, Trent. I'll ask you this one. But the GOAT is on the way out, man. He's retiring. He did say he'll be around in some capacity, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But right now, Trent, what are some of your fondest memories of Saban? Like when I say his name, what are the top two memories that automatically pop up in your head?
man. First day of when I got there, the first day, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm late.
Of
And
course you were.
of course I'm late, right? And this is when all the freshmen supposed to be coming in, getting their schedules, all this other stuff, meeting with John Deaver. John Deaver was the academic, guy down there. I'm late. And my brother came up with me. And so my brother called me as I'm, getting everything in the room and whatever, cussing me out, going off on me. I'm like, bro, what's up? Like, what's really good? What's on your chest? And so he tell me, Coach Saban just had me in his office going off on me, cussing me out because you late and all. I was like, oh, like, my bad.
So he got it. Your brother got cussed out by Saban before you, and he ain't even played.
I ain't even play at Alabama. He got cussed out before me.
Wow.
And another memory, man, I thought I was in trouble, bro. And Coach Saban had called me up to his office. It's my last year in school. Like I'm balling out. I know I'm doing everything good. He called me up to his office about 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, oh man. And when he called, it says unknown when he called. There's no call ID. So you got to pick it up because it's Coach Saban. So you pick it up, the phone call. And I don't know, was it Cedric or Coach Saban said, hey, come meet me at the office right now. So I'm like, oh my God, what I have done. Like, and at this time I stay off campus. I'm 2 exits away. It is like at least a 20-minute drive to get to Coach Saban office, get to the complex, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm there in like 5 minutes. And so I get up there, bro. And this is when Nick just come out with the click on the door that, opens the door and
Opens the door.
shuts the
Yeah.
door by itself, And so he done hit this button on his door. I thought I'm walking in here like, bro, it's dark. It's like a scene off The Godfather. Like it's dark in there. It's nothing but a light on Coach Saban. And it's a piece of paper right here that he pulled out of his pocket. He unfolded this piece of paper, and it's him and Cedric. Coach Cedric, guy, if y'all
The
don't know who
legend.
Cedric is,
The
Cedric
legend.
is the legend. He's the guy that has the cup, or he's the guy that's, cheering behind Coach Saban, jumping around, all this other stuff, making sure he's straight. And he come to me, he told me, come here, like that. Come here, 3. So I walk up to his desk, and this man is looking at a map of how to get to Pensacola from Tuscaloosa because Miss Terry Dog has died.
Oh no.
Yeah, Miss Terry Dog has died. And so he's sitting there telling us, he already sat there and told us, like, Miss Terry got us sleeping on the couch. The dog been hunching on his leg. And so Cedric, instead of saying, like, hey, coach, you sure you just don't want me to go down? If I don't take this trip with Miss Terry, I might be sleeping at the damn complex. And so he's asking me, how do I get there? I'm like, bro, coach, I swear I thought I was in trouble. I ain't say it to him, but this is, you get that.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Lord. Why did I see that?
Bro, I said something to him about this when I went down in the summer, when I took the kids up, when I took my nephew them up there to the camp, and he bust out laughing like, I know exactly what you're talking about. He was like, man, me and Miss Terry were just talking about that the other day, about how you thought you was in trouble, and I had to go because I was going to get in trouble if I didn't go in.
If you didn't go.
He ain't pulling out no TomTom. He ain't pulling no GPS. That man got a map. And this is before the phones really had the, the map on them. You know what I'm saying? This is when Nokia had the first, Samsung had the first, flat screen.
He pulled out an actual atlas map.
Yeah, like he had a real map that he had these roads he was showing me, and I'm like, yeah, coach, you gotta...
So let me jump to Cliff right quick. Now, Cliff, you can go and tell the people what school you are a fan of. Ain't nobody gonna jump you.
Ain't nobody gonna jump me. I'm actually in college football. I really don't have too much of an allegiance to nobody. If it would have been, it would have been to Nick. But with him being gone, now I'm gonna be honest with you. It's whoever.
Okay, all right. Well, let me ask you this though. As an outsider, what did this Bama run look like for you? Was it times where you were like, oh man, I'm happy that my guy's happy. This is amazing, all this winning, or it's like, I'm kind of tired of this. Like they win all the time. It's getting bored. What did this dynasty look like as an outsider?
As an outsider, I would say, because I never hated Alabama, never ever. So when you like football and you just love it like I do, you was like, oh my God, they still going. They ain't stopped. They retooling for real. Like they wasn't just talking. A lot of folks talk, be like, oh, we just reload. Nah, y'all just really reload. So it's like, okay. So from a football perspective, it's like, wow, this you can't deny he there now. But from the other team's perspective, I can see, oh man, we sick of this.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I hadn't seen, especially in the SEC. A lot of folks in the SEC hold their SEC pride, but when it come to Bama, they just happy to see them lose.
we felt it. Trust me, every time something go wrong with Bama, my Twitter and everything is blowing up. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? Not just the SEC will do it, but anybody from anywhere else will do it too. Like I didn't see stuff when Nick went and said I'm gonna retire, and Michigan fans like, oh, we seen Nick Saban 2 times, and now they got the little drawings and stuff with Harbaugh and a bell chasing.
I saw
Nick.
that. I saw that. And that's why as I look at the fans, I understand why they dislike, the run that we were on, but they got to admit, man, it had to be something exciting knowing that Nick Saban and Bama was coming to, to your stadium. Like I've went to some away games and you could tell like the atmosphere was just on another level. I assume it'll still be like that. I assume they still want to get payback on Bama for all these years, but Trent, kicking it back to you, what are your expectations now for the new coach in year number one? What are your expectations as a former player and a fan?
Well, and we done talked about this so many different times, man. Behind the scenes, to jump away from your question to kind of go into this question at the same time. like it's almost a lose-lose situation for him. Because if you win with all this that Nick Saban left you, that's Nick recruits. And if you lose with whatever he done left you, like, how did you blow this? And so I don't know my expectation for him. Like I can't, because I played for the man. So it's like I've only known greatness. I've only known, yeah, think about it. My first year in school, we didn't lose a game. Like we started this at the Rose Bowl. You know what I'm saying? We started it like, and for him to go out at the Rose Bowl, it was just like, man, like I hate to see him lose to go out like that too. Because I want my coach to win on top. I want him to be on top regardless. But the expectations, bro, I don't know if I have one for him just yet. Like, I don't know. I don't know nothing about him. I can't wait to meet him. I want to, know what I'm saying, talk, hear him. I want to, put my ears to the test of, how are you going to make this program, enhance this program with a 2.0, or how can you continue this legacy at your pace, though, at what you do, and what you do it, with the athletes that you can bring in to the South, from the South.
No,
how you going to recruit? Yeah, like
you bring up a good point about that pressure that's on them, one way or the other. But as I look and listen to the beat writers that are out there in Seattle and the national media that has interviewed him, one thing that they all said, he's not moved by people's opinions. And I think that's a great quality that you got to have. So he's not coming in looking at it, to my knowledge, he's not coming in looking at it like, I got to do this or I got to be like Saban or this and that. From what I see, he's his own man. No matter if he's coaching in the NAIA, if he's coaching in the national championship, he's his own dude. And I think that's the perfect the perfect thing that you have to follow somebody like Nick Saban. And I don't know how I missed that, but it wasn't until you said it, I didn't notice about the Rose Bowl. I guess after the game was over, I just kind of wanted to move on past all of it. But you're right, the first championship, for Saban was there at the Rose Bowl with you guys in 2010 after the 2009 season. And then that was his last game and loss there at the Rose Bowl. But again, Coach Saban has not shown himself to be one of those sentimental people who, I got to break this record. This happened here. So, but I didn't notice that. That's something right there.
You got to think about this.
Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. You got it.
Cliff, you just as an outsider, what do you think this first year may look like for Coach DeBoer?
I answer that by
it kind of went out. I don't think I heard him.
My bad. I had to had somebody try to call me.
Okay.
But
yeah, that's phone gonna keep messing up. That's what happened to me. You got to put on Do Not Disturb. Yeah, it's gonna keep going.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
He got to log back on. Yeah, that's what I had to do. He got to log back on.
Yeah. And then I'm
but
on
let me
my phone
ask
with
you
the question.
something.
Go ahead, Trent.
Let me
please.
ask you something, man. Like, how do you feel? Like, what? No. Matter of fact, what is your perfect situation for a coach? Or even though we got a coach coming in there now, who is your perfect situation? Give me one or two of them. I feel like I know one already.
You know what? You talking about if I had my choice to pick the coach?
Yeah.
I can't say I would have went with DeBoer first. I'm not gonna lie about that. But to be honest, and I've already tweeted this, the person that probably has the most solid resume to come in and fill the shoes is somebody that I know I don't want around the program, and somebody that I'm seeing a lot of other fans don't want, and that's Dabo. I feel how I feel about some of the stuff that he says and just how he feels about NIL, how he feels about social issues and all of that and players getting paid. But on paper, a man that's got 2 natties, went to the championship 4 times, was a staple in the playoff for a while, graduated from Alabama, understands the culture. Without all of the extra shenanigans, he would probably be the best coach for the job. And not only that, it looks like Clemson is taking a few steps back. So I'm really on for Dabo, but I'm not gonna diminish his resume because it is a solid resume if you're looking at coaches. As far as anybody off the coaching tree, I felt like Kirby was a shot in the wind. He's got a great situation at his alma mater. Lane, to me, Coach Kiffin, I love Coach Kiffin, but it almost feels like he's got a ceiling, if that makes sense. And it looks like his ceiling may be 10, 11 wins, New Year's Six bowl game, but no playoff appearances so far, no trips to Atlanta so far. So, that's that. Sark looks to have a very high ceiling. We know he can get it done. He can win some big games. So I I think we got the right guy, basically.
I'd agree with that. Out of all the choices, him and the guy from Oregon would have made the best sense.
Oh, Lanning. I forgot about Lanning.
Yeah. Dan Lanning and him would have made the best sense. I can completely understand if both of them didn't want to take it, because even with all of that, which is facts, these are still some very big shoes to fill. And
correct.
Without, even if, let's say, you know what I mean, because like you said, the guy from Washington, with Dabo, DeBoer, my bad. With him being his own guy and not being easily swayed and all of that. And I'm not trying to diminish the Washington fan base or they franchise in any type of way.
I feel like you're about to do it, but go ahead.
I mean, I'm gonna have to though. That's not, for one, that's not SEC play, and for two, that's not Bama. And from where they've been for the last, you can probably go back to 20 years, but definitely for the last 17, they have been the people to beat. If you're going to win anything, it's because you went through them. And everybody judged their standard from what he built and what he left. Even if you're going in, which is the best possible mindset to go in, by the way. Even if you're going in to be like, all right, complete clean slate, this is what I'm establishing. It's hard for me to realistically go in with you with any type of expectations, because you're going after the best to do it. That's the big shoes to fill. And
I agree.
Not fair to him.
No, I agree, but I think just me. I think we put a little too much emphasis on if they've been in the SEC. I think it's a plus if you have been, but Nick Saban, when he got to LSU, he was not an SEC guy. Brian Kelly, who's at LSU right now, he was not an SEC guy. Urban Meyer, before he got to Florida and did a great job, he was not an SEC guy. So I don't think it's the end all be all, even though it could help. I just don't think it's the end all be all.
Can I ask this? And I might be wrong.
Sure.
I might be wrong. So, but Nick, before then, he was in the Big Ten, if we keep it in college, right? With Mississippi State. And then
Michigan State. Yeah.
Michigan State, my bad. Michigan State. And he was in the NFL after that, before he came back to college, right? To go to LSU. So for a degree, we saw him on the pro scene and measured whatever it was to the pro standard to what it could be in the SEC. Because a lot of folks say the SEC is the closest thing that you can get to pro, right? So we saw that manageable. And then with Chip Kelly, wasn't it kind of the same way? Or am I mixing him up with the other one?
Yeah, you mixing him up with Brian Kelly. Chip Kelly left Oregon, where he did a great job, went to the Eagles and was god awful. Now he's back at UCLA, and I don't know if they've had a nationally televised game in 2 years. So,
okay. Now, Brian Kelly, if you're using him as the example, then yeah, you're right. Everybody that comes to the SEC, they're not usually from the SEC, and they still have a measure of success. So if you're using that, then cool. But
Okay.
they also adjusted. It's not that I don't believe he can adjust. I just don't know if he will. Like I said, it's the person you coming behind. I kind of lower the standards for you, and I know it's messed up, but that's what I do. I'm not going to measure him by the same standard that I had at Nick Saban, even if he's getting left with the best possible position from Nick. I got to see him work with that material.
I follow. I think that's good. And I'm gonna ask a few more and then we're gonna go to the comments to take some questions. But Trent, I want to ask you this one. So it was revealed, or Nick Saban said it to a reporter, that they're gonna give him an office, I guess, either above the stadium or in the practice facility. He said that he'll be around, I guess, to help with the transition. And if Alabama needs him, he said that Tuscaloosa is home, Alabama is home. How much influence do you think he's going to have over this, new administration?
A lot. And I say that because they already got his office already packed up, and they already got his office already in the stadium. It's already move-in ready. They already got it done for him. Yeah, it was done yesterday, bro. Yeah. So everything he had at the complex, if they don't even frame that off for real, like they might. Well, I know they're gonna put his whole office in the museum that's coming. We'll talk about that later. But anyways, yeah. But when you talk about Coach Saban, he's gonna be a big part of the say, and I say that because I've seen it hands on. So I don't know if everybody know or remember Coach Pendrix was my offensive line coach my first 2 years in school, and he is the godfather of football, college and NFL. When he retired my junior year, he was still on staff, and they had to send every practice to him after practice. That's what Coach said, and that was the only person I seen Coach Saban ever say yes sir to.
Oh man, yeah! Shout out to the legend Joe Pendry.
Oh yeah,
Still to this day, bro. I think they still send practice to Joe, like, and he still got an office at the complex. He's been retired since 2011.
Oh, that's respect.
Wow. Yeah, so we just got a whole retirement wing up there at the complex.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that it works out and he can be in a advisory role that pushes the program forward. I guess it comes to mind like when John Elway was working in the top office for the Broncos, and you had Peyton Manning and all these guys, and they got a Super Bowl out of it. Like it worked. You got a Hall of Fame quarterback looking over you, and the kids still wearing his jerseys. So Coach DeBoer, he's coming into a situation. He's gonna have to walk past Nick's statue, on Saturdays. He's gonna pass all of Nick's works when he comes into the facility, all the trophies, all the rings. Either that's gonna motivate him or it's gonna shake him. And everything I know about the guy so far, I think is gonna motivate him to be a part of something. He's saying all the right stuff now through his statements, but those could be PR people. But we'll see. Let me pull another good question for here, and then we'll get into some. Let me see. Oh, that's what I want to Cliff. I can definitely get you in on this because I know you follow this position. But Isaiah Bond, one of our top receivers. I would say Jermaine Burton was our top receiver.
He was a solid number 2.
Yeah, Isaiah Bond really came, into his own. We know about the big catch at the Iron Bowl and just some great catches throughout the bowl game and through the season. But he has filled out the paperwork and he is now in the transfer portal. Do you guys, and I'll start with you, do you think this big news or not big news? Do you think he'll jump back out of there now that he knows who the coach is? What are y'all thinking about this one?
I got two opinions on it.
Okay.
The answer to the question though, I do think it's big news. I do think it is, because you know how Bama usually did it. Let's say Nick was still there. He was going to be the definitive number one, because there wasn't anybody else coming through the portal like it was the last 2 years. And as the process usually goes, he usually goes between the receivers that's still there, and they, you know what I mean, they switch to their one, or they fill into their position. Especially right. For the folks that's usually there years before. He makes sure to give them their play time. So it was given to him to be the number one, but for him to leave, and the quarterback already said he was staying, but one of his other dudes, his actual number one, went to the league, and out of all of the wide receivers, Isaiah Bond was the one who really separated himself outside of Jermaine Burton this year.
Right.
If I'm being honest. Right. So for him to leave, who else are your threats? Who else are you looking to that's going to be, oh, they got that, they can handle that? Because from what we've seen from the last few years on the low tip, there's been some other good talent, but they left before they even, you know what I mean? They couldn't stick it out. Yeah. So now if I'm looking at how the wide receivers is now,
yeah, no, you make a good point, but I would counter and say this: we don't know if he's actually leaving. I mean, getting in the portal just to see what's out there is one thing, but I'll say this, and it's gonna sound horrible, but I think he's in the portal, and it's Nick Saban's fault. And I use fault because I don't know a better word right now, but think about it: if he got recruited, and Nick Saban is saying it's going to be this, and then in the blink of an eye, it's not this anymore. I think every player has the right to, explore his option, because Nick, you told me you were going to be here my whole, 3-4 years, and now it's not. So let me just see, because I had other schools making me offers already. So let me just, I think it's fair, but I think it may be, let me take on my crimson glasses. I think they'll be able to talk him back down to coming back home. But what do you think about the Isaiah Bond news, Trent?
I think it's huge news. Like y'all was just saying, like he's the number one guy over there. We all knew he was coming back. We all knew that we can count on him in tough situations. But I do agree with you. And not to say it's Nick Saban's fault, but when your coach retires, you came here to play for Coach Saban. I don't give a damn what anybody said. I love the program to death now, especially more now as I'm older. But as a kid, you come to play for his coach that that's a legend, and that that's gonna put you in the best situation for the rest of your life, right? I probably would have jumped in the portal, and I'm saying that on the scale to where I don't know who my offensive coordinator is going to be. I don't know who my running back coach is going to be, or receiver coach in his hands. I don't even know if we're going to have the same staff. So while y'all making stuff happen on y'all end, let me take care of myself too.
Right. And I'll say this that I learned from you guys, Trent, as I was talking to Reggie and Antonio Langman and all the rest of the guys. Y'all was like, and even Mike McCoy right in, you like, we really only got about 30 to 40 games to make it to the NFL. And that always stuck with me when y'all said that, because that's true. So he's, a little bit over 12 games in now. So now's the shorter window. So he's probably thinking, I got to go with whatever I feel is the most solid path to get to the NFL. But we'll see how it plays out. I don't want to lose him, but I'm a fan of Isaiah Bond. So wherever he chooses to go, I'm a rock with him. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, it's not like he turned his back on the program or anything. He's just doing what he feels is best for his family. So I can rock with it. Trent, let me ask you this. If you were a player currently, let's say this was your sophomore year. You're getting ready to go into junior year, and you're playing, and y'all just lost the Rose Bowl. Nick Saban retires. What, as a player, what would you be feeling? Because I just want to kind of try as best we can to gauge what these guys may be feeling right now.
You know what, man? I see both sides of it, bro. I can't. I will say this: if the biggest thing is Coach Saban retired, like, what is that gonna do for me and my legacy? Like you just said, we only played 30-something games for real. That's if you play all your years, or if you don't get hurt, if you know what I'm saying, nothing happened. So I gotta get a job too. Like, I gotta have a job too. I gotta have my future secure too. Coach Saban, and this is, trust me, y'all, I'm never gonna say anything about Coach Saban that's gonna tarnish or be mean or be mad at him. But Coach Saban had his career. I'm trying to start mine. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and I'm saying it from a father point of view now too, because my sons are coming up, and they're hopefully one day we be in a situation to where we're getting recruited, we're talking about this and that. But just to be like, for me, what I would tell my son, like, hey, be smart. I would tell them my experience I've had here and the people that would take care of you afterwards. But when it's on you, like, bro, you got to make this decision on a level to where, like, are these guys gonna be in the building for the next 3 to 4 years, and they're gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I can't tell him to just go to. I can't tell him to go to Colorado right now because I don't know if Prime gonna be there.
Right.
And that's not to throw nobody underneath the bus, but it's just the business side of it. So, like, I get it. I get
good point.
Kids, man. Yeah, like, we all want everybody to win at Bama and all this other stuff. We want everybody to stay, but at the end of the day, like, them kids after they leave Bama, like, what are we gonna do for these kids? Are these kids gonna be able to make it on their own? Say if they don't have a good relationship with the alumni, or they was never that person that just come out and speak, or how it is being a young man, you're taught to take this stuff on by yourself. What if they don't reach out to somebody, or what if nobody reach out to them? Like, we got to be real about it, man. I'm not mad about the kid going in the transfer portal right now. It's one of them situations where I think he deserved to have that choice.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. I'm always going to be pro, the athletes and making their choice and making their money. Got my producer over there about 5 feet away. So they're going to just post some questions up from the comments. We're at about 43 minutes. I think we can get to an hour. We've been waiting on Reggie to get back, but I guess he's still at the shake junk. We'll just leave that there, but hopefully he'll join us. And
yes,
but
sir.
yeah, let's get some questions up on the screen. Y'all can see my hands. I'm not picking the questions. I don't know what's getting asked. We're just gonna try to answer to the best of our ability. All right, we got a question from YouTube. Floyd Watley: is Borg offensive coordinator coming? The two have been together and responsible for the success that he was hired at Alabama. I think that's huge. His right-hand guy. I did see a lot of people on Twitter tonight asking if DeBoer was bringing his offensive coordinator. If they got a great relationship, you got to think that he will. What does that mean for Tommy Rees? It means he goes in the portal. Or he may like what Reese had cooking. We don't know. That still remains to be seen. So we'll see. But I think that's a good question. Y'all want to weigh in on that?
I would agree with you, especially on the offensive coordinator tip. I think he would bring his guy. I think he'll bring a few of his guys, but in order to not shake up so much, I think a few other folks is probably going to stay in order to keep whatever culture he's trying to establish. Because you don't want super turnover, and now it's whiplash between, I came over here because I was familiar with so and so, but he left too.
Right. Yeah, and then I will say this too before we get off the offense coordinator. A lot of me. Sorry, now I got people trying to call me. I got to
somebody call you
thing when I get a chance.
Hey, somebody called you this time.
So a lot of people were saying, well, his great offense didn't put up big numbers in the playoff games. I'm like, they did pretty well against Texas. If you go back and look at the Michigan game, the offensive and the play calls were there. They was missing wide open passes. They was just dropping. They had penalties. I think those lights were a little too bright for those Washington players, but that's just me.
Nah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, man. I think
and now I can't hear. Let me try.
Yeah, to be real, you can hear me though, can't you, nephew?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I mean, everybody else can hear me. So for me, yeah, you're gonna have to call back. You're gonna have to call back your own show, man. We'll stay on here now.
I'm so weak.
But yeah, man. So what I was saying was Coach Saban brought in his whole crew that he wanted. So we got to get this dude the opportunity to bring in his program and let us go through the process of what he know at the top level, what's made him successful. If we don't, that's not giving him a fair shot. Now, would that happen? I don't know. Like you said, you don't want so much turnaround to where it's like Bama just not the Bama. But we got to give him an opportunity to be him, to bring in his coaching staff. So I think he bringing in his own offense coordinator. Would I be mad about it? I would not be mad about it. I think our offense was here and there all year. I think we had a lot of good big moments that we had to fight out of that we shouldn't have been in. But I definitely feel like, man, when you're talking about this move, like if I'm going to have this team and be successful, you got to give me the same privilege that you gave Nick Saban
and
to bring in whatever I need to have.
I definitely agree with you on that. I think that's I don't know, Nick, like how y'all do, but I think that's what he would do for anybody that would have gotten his shoes. He would bring up the time. Hey, when I came over here, just like how you kind of walking behind my light with me, I had to do kind of the same thing with Bear because they revered Bear down there. Bill Bryant was the guy. And then Houndstooth stayed being worn. I know all through 2009 when I went up there and I saw y'all.
All right. Good insight, guys.
Oh, you back?
Oh, yeah. I'm back. I had to reset and do some things. But we got a good question. Shut up, Trent. We got a good question from Facebook from Will Avon Boatwright. He wants to know, do you think Coach DeBoer is a transitional coach for Bama? And do you think Coach DeBoer was a quick hire? Or do you think he was Saban endorsed? Y'all can take that one first.
Ooh. I got it. I'm going to be honest with you. I think he's a transition.
Wow.
I think he's a transition. I think he's going to be a good – I don't think he's going to be a bad transition, but I think he was more of a quick hire than something that he endorsed. I think Saban had a list of folks that would have been nice, and he was on that list, but I don't think he was endorsed by him. But that's just me. I think he's more of a transition.
Yeah, I doubt if he was endorsed by Coach Saban. No, I don't see that. And I don't know the guy. Maybe Nick got some type of connection with him somewhere in his coaching tree. I haven't seen no connection yet. I know he probably respects his game, what he's done and what he's doing. But being endorsed, I doubt it. And I asked you this question earlier. The perfect coaches for me, and I got two situations. Number one is gonna be Kirby. Mm-hmm. Number two, DeMeco Ryans. We know we already had this conversation, but
right.
It's definitely a different lane. We ain't gonna go down that way tonight, but we'll have to get into it one day. But man, like to go back to the question that you was asking, man, I think it was a quick decision. And I think when you're talking about transition, like, what are we moving to? Like, what phase are we trying to get out of? Because, like, what are we transitioning to? Losing or transitioning to the new wave of NIL? Like, what are we doing? Because Nick has been successful on all levels at all ages. Like, over 30 years, this man's been the only coach to win national championships in over 30 years. Like,
3
so
different
he's been,
decades for sure.
yeah, like he's been able to overcome every scale is being, except for the one scale with the being able to get in the damn portal. So for now, right? But he was still winning.
We still on this question?
A little bit. I think we can phase off of it. I was talking with the producer trying to get some stuff, but then it's so many questions coming up, man. Facebook and YouTube, they lighten it up. So we trying to catch the questions, but they just flying. But here's a good one. You can jump in on. If he doesn't keep T Rob, which is Travaris, I think Robinson, yeah, who's a lot of people want him to be the defensive coordinator. Do you think we will lose most of our defensive players?
Yep.
I wouldn't put it past him. We already lost pretty much most of the offense, but we still had the offensive coordinator there. But I'm gonna be honest with you, it wouldn't be no reason for them to stay if he did leave, because I had a great measure of success with this man, and it was more than likely, especially if I was a starter, he had a formula that was working for me. Like, we saw throughout the year, they just got better. I can't even, like, as an outsider looking in, I can't even hate on it. I was like, oh, they got beat right there. Oh, they busting cover. Oh, Lord. Here they go. And then after every game, you can see, even in the moments where they messed up bad, they'll switch this thing to where it's like, oh, okay, they locked in. No, they locked in. Okay. And they put the hats on, folks, and you gotta test that to your defensive players or your defensive coaches. And if they leave and somebody else is bringing you another guy, he may not be able to get out of you what the other coach did.
Yeah. And the other thing we know about that defense, they brought in a veteran, Kevin Steele, to kind of reestablish that. And I think that worked wonders. But Nick, in his retirement interview with Reese Davis, he said, I had to be more hands-on with the defense this year, and that took me away. So you had Kevin Steele, T-Rob, Nick Saban. Everybody was like, hey, man, this defense got to get back up to standard. And I think it did. But with Coach T-Rob, and Coach T-Rob, if you watch it, I'm sorry if I messed up before. And we just call you T-Rob. So I don't even know what the full name is. So, but I do know that he's a great recruiter. Caleb Downs was a big get for him. I'm not sure if he had a hand with Malachi and some guys that transferred in. Trent, who's the guy coming from USC this year? The transfer.
Don't make me lie.
Yeah, I can't think of, but it's a big get. So Coach T-Rob had a lot to do with that. So I think it will benefit the program to keep him around for sure.
Yeah, in the comment to piggyback off that, like, T-Rob, cool dude. He's a player's coach. Those players love him. But if they get rid of him, you lose that defense. And that's to keep it real. Like, you lose Coach Saban, Coach Steele the same year. Now you get rid of the guy who, should be the next man up. You can't do that. And he can, but like, if you really want to keep this team, you don't want to lose this team because it's unfamiliar face. You got to think about it. If this was me in college is more family. It ain't a business just yet to these kids. It's still more family. Now we get to the next level, that's when you might have a different head coach or coordinator somewhere every other year. And I guess Alabama has been like that for the last few years, right? Because he's bringing coaches in, to the rehab center and, getting them right.
The rehab center.
But yeah, bro, I think he should keep T-Rob. So you got to have a familiar face, man. I don't think you want to go in there just cold turkey and these folks not knowing nobody. Or nobody on your staff, or don't even want to get close to you or have any type of relationship with you. You built off relationships and chemistry that you grow with these players, and they'll fight to the death with you, man. Like I tell people all the time, if Nick Saban would have told us to slap Obama was in that wild, we'd have slapped the stuffing out of him.
If FBI, if you listening, that was just Trent saying that. That's not me.
That was young Trent. This ain't even the same one, so I'm just letting you know. I ain't brainwashed no more.
Yeah, you probably got a few people in the comment like slap Obama. Yeah, you do it. But shout out to our knowledgeable people in the comments. DeMoney Jackson, that was his name, the cornerback that's coming from USC. So that's a great get. I think we got another good question.
That's great.
We gonna get about 4 more minutes. Joey Smith, do y'all think this was his best coaching season ever? I'm gonna just say if it wasn't his best, it was top 3. When you think Nick Saban, let me make my point, Trent. When you look at the fact that this team in what they did versus Texas, and then they laid that egg versus USF down there in the rain to come back and not lose a single SEC matchup, to win the SEC, beat Georgia, who was on a 29-game win streak. And it just doesn't look. I've never seen an Alabama team not this locked in at the beginning of the season since probably 2006. So what I'm saying is it's actually a compliment to the rest of these Bama teams that they came in with a kind of a fire. But this team struggling with USF, dog, but then to turn it around, to let them not collapse, turn it around and win the SEC, I think this is one of his better coaching jobs, and that's how I feel.
I would put it in top 3 just for what you said, but I wouldn't put it 1. Because I'm thinking about some of the teams that he had, and maybe he didn't have to coach on that same type of level to where it was so in depth, or you know what I mean, so personable, especially towards the latter half. If you're looking at like 2020 hindsight, but I can't get past 09 for what he did that year, and then 2015 to about 16.
15 was going to be my top one, but go ahead.
Yeah, with Fitzpatrick and them, man, that was, and they lost that year, didn't it? To Mississippi.
Yeah, they lost to Ole Miss. Lost to Ole Miss. Well, the reason I'm gonna say that 15, I think the offense was just the question, or the quarterback position, because you were going back and forth between Jake Coker and the other guy till Jake won the job. So you know that these 2 seasons look a little similar, to be honest. But yeah, I think it was a hell of a coaching job, man. But come on, Trent, tell us why 2009 was the best year.
Oh yeah. You know, he finna hold that down. I ain't even have to say nothing on that.
He's not biased at all.
Not biased at all, man. But you know what, man? I think it's 2 teams out there that was the 2009 team, of course, because you think about, bro, we averaged giving up 8 points that year, if that, a game. I think, and I might be reading off something totally wrong, but I think it's something close to that, right? And when I think of coaching, I'm thinking of winning, and I get it. You know, we're talking about how people develop through the season, this and that. But we had a whole bunch of guys who had to be some go-getters on that 09 team that the year before they lost against Florida, and they lost against Utah in a
Sugar Bowl.
The Sugar Bowl was like, bro, like this is supposed to be a turnaround. Like, no, I'm gonna coach y'all guys hard every moment. Like, bro, like Nick in 09, bro, like coaching was at an all high for him, bro. Like that defense was him.
And y'all had established.
So,
and we had, bro, we had.
But all right, let me say this: we nobody's taking anything away from 09. It's a great team, undefeated. What role you talk about Nick Saban's role with the defense? What role did Kirby Smart play and that great defense. Because Kirby was on staff then, and another assistant that went on to be, I can't think of, but so I'm saying in 2023,
Kirby was
in 2023, Nick Saban didn't have a Kirby on the staff.
But Kirby,
I mean, Kevin Steele. Go ahead.
That's cool, but Kirby wasn't Kirby until after that.
Okay. That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like Kirby wasn't Kirby until like Nick was still running things. Like I'm actually like looking at this. Like Nick running stuff. Kirby ain't Kirby until 2 or 3 more championships later. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
I ain't arguing that.
And I respect that Kirby was there and he did do a lot of the coaching. But who you think coaching's Kirby? Nick is coaching Kirby too. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen Nick yell at Kirby or the assistant coach more than he'll yell at a player.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I mean by coaching too. Like I ain't just talking about the player. He's coaching the coach too. He's coaching that. Like that man know every position, every coach, every assignment. Like we never see him on the offensive side, but he knew every play. He knew every assignment. He knew your lineman every time. And it was just like, dang, coach, like, how do you see all this? Like, I think different is coaching. You know what I'm saying? Like coaching, I think look different than everybody else would. You say, well, he developed all us that year. We didn't lose a game. And I go to that 2020 season when they played the all SEC season, bro. That's some coaching. Right. That man beat Georgia from home. He had COVID, beat Georgia.
Yeah. That's what I feel about the COVID season. COVID itself was a big distraction. Having the focus, knowing you weren't going to have a stadium full of people, you don't know who you could touch. You pretty much got to stay in the bubble. To go undefeated that year, I think was a big deal. So let me ask you this, Trent.
Don't do it. I'm
going to do it. If you, I'm not a comparison of team. But if you were coaching and you had to take a team, like I'm a coach this team to the playoff, would you rather take the 2009 team or the 2023 team? Which one do you think would be more of a challenge?
What you mean a challenge? What you mean?
Which between 2009 or 2023, which one do you think would be more of a challenge to coach to a playoff?
2023.
Yeah, to coach to a playoff. Yeah, 2023.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying that was his better coaching job. I think it was a bigger challenge for him.
But that's why I said I'm looking at it different than you. But even with that, like people got to realize too, like that year before that, we lost Rashad Johnson. We lost Glenn Coffey was the lead rusher. You know what I'm saying? Like we lost a lot too. We lost Andre. We lost, Big Caldwell. We lost a lot too. Like even on the defensive side. So I think too, like when we're talking about coaching, I'm thinking, hey, like all means necessary. We're coming in every game prepared to win.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a lot of these players are not disciplined this year. You get what I'm saying? Or the year before.
You saying that's what the case in 2009. A lot of one discipline.
No. In 2009, we end up getting discipline. It won all the penalties, won all that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta think about it, bro. Like we had a player get shot on Wednesday and played Saturday. Brandon
that was Dittery.
I remember you saying that story.
Yeah.
But like I said, that 2020 team though, like
the old Bama,
how hard it was. Yeah, but like and I love that 2020 team, and I'm just starting to think of this on a run, like because they had it to where like you didn't know was your parents gonna live, you was gonna live. I gotta stay in this bubble around everybody. Hell, Coach Saban gets sick. He already not saying nothing crazy, but is he gonna be okay? Like it was one of those seasons to where like that bubble phase, man, it's a different focus because it's so much of I gotta kill this play and I gotta get up out of here situation because it's already, you can't be around nobody. Like you can't be able to, touch, feel, nothing, none of that. So it's like, bro, it's nothing but football. We dead focus on football.
Okay. Well, before we
get my degree, Like it was a lot going on that year, bro.
Yeah. Well, before we wrap up, a few minutes ago, some of the comments I can't see them. My producer was telling me that DeBoer, Coach DeBoer was on ABC 3340. I'm not sure if he's landed in Tuscaloosa or whatever. And I'm also not. I don't think he's going to receive the type of fanfare that Nick Saban received at the airport in 2007. I'll say this as a fan. A lot of this stuff, man, you want to be happy and embrace the new coach, but it feels like I'm cheating on Nick Saban when I do certain stuff.
You is.
But Coach broke up with us. I didn't break up with Coach.
Y'all ain't even do the 2-month rule, man. That's so dirty.
He didn't. Coach Saban said in his interview, okay, Kevin Smith said thousands were at the airport. That's good. I think we need that to welcome him. So I'm assuming he's already landed in Tuscaloosa. They've got a press conference scheduled for tomorrow. So we're going to watch it, but I'm open to welcome this new coach, man. And we've had some times with the Nick Saban run, brother, but it's time to do it, y'all. If this the Band-Aid, it's time to rip it off. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I think that's what Coach Saban did. He said he had a meeting with his team at 4:00. He said he made his final decision to retire at 3:55 p.m. while he was having a conversation with Miss Terry. And he said between 3:55 and 4:00, he had to decide which of the two speeches was he going to give. Was it going to be hey, let's get ready for next year, train hard in the off season, or I'm out? And he gave the I'm out speech. So he ripped the Band-Aid off, but he's still gonna, help as best he can. All good things may come to an end, man. It's the beginning of the DeBoer era is tomorrow at 1:00. So we're gonna get to honor Nick Saban. I know A-Day should be packed. If they had thousands out at the airport, that's great. But we got to move on. Matthew says turn on WBRC. I actually can't. I'm on his phone talking to the people. But with that being said, man, if y'all got any
say
last
that
words,
FunnyMaine ain't got no TVs in his house, y'all. Just let y'all know. He got a TP too.
See, that's why that's why you haven't been invited to the new crib yet. That attitude right there. Crazy. But no, if y'all got anything y'all want to say before we go ahead and get it out. I'm gonna let everybody go because I know some people might want to watch the news conference themselves. First, Cliff.
All I gotta say is, man, I appreciated the 17-year run with Nick, man. You the GOAT without a shadow of a doubt. Tune in with my folks on the Joe Lockett show. I'll be in next week. Stay tuned in the TR3. Shoot, keep it in with Trent and Roll Tide.
that Roll Tide sound a little forced. We're gonna work on that.
It would have more energy if Nick was done, bro.
Trent, what you want to say to the people before we get out here?
I'm sorry, y'all. Nah, I'm just nah, man. I think Bama gonna be good, man. I think the guys that's gonna be left in that building knows and sees the vision, and it's almost like leaving your parent house. Like your parent prepares you to be a 2.0 or 3.0 of them, and I can say stories after story, day after day about Coach Saban and Miss Terry and Christy and Nicholas, all the stories that in the moments that we have together, man. I appreciate them guys. I'm gonna always be indebted to them, and there's nothing I can ever do to repay Coach Saban or Miss Terry for what they have done for me and my family, and for the Bama University, man. Like the universe of Bama, bro, is so big because of Coach Saban and their family, bro. What they blessed us with for these last 17 quick years. I'm gonna say quick because it don't
very
seem like
quick.
It's 17.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like I say, we have been spoiled from top to bottom, man. With Miss Terry, with Coach Saban, Even with Saban being able to get Mercedes-Benz dealership around, man, it's just an honor, bro, to be a part of. Bro, it's an honor to be a part of all that, man. Like,
Yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
like we can sit there and say, like, we actually seen this stuff. Like, we lived in that day of time
Right.
to say, well, how people got their Michael Jordan, we got a Nick Saban, or people got their, Julius Erving, like we got a Nick Saban. So to live in that era and to do it at such a high level for so long, man, like, appreciate you, coach. Like, that's all I can say, man. Appreciate you, man. Like, that's like a dad to me. Like, that's one of the first times I done had a man like get my shit right.
Yeah.
But man, listen, we're gonna be
well,
right.
Damn, Trent.
Ropes. Hey, man. Hey, man. Listen, before we get off, man, we're gonna be back with the ropes, man, with TR3, man. Everybody
Yes,
on
sir.
this show today, they on there. We're gonna have a good lineup for you, man. We're gonna do it big. But listen, man, I'm definitely going to be I got a speaking engagement in Jasper Saturday. Got something in Gaston on the 27th. I got something in Trustville next weekend. Like, bro, I'm everywhere, man. My son.
Oh, you on tour?
Yeah. That's this my grind time, man. I think Coach Saban just made me more relevant too.
So, before I get off, man, I'm only one fan, and I can't speak, for every fan out there. But first off, man, it goes without saying, thank you, Coach Saban, man. It was a very quick 17 years, but I enjoyed every second of it. This wasn't a thing where I'm like, man, I wish I could have done more. No, we did it up, man, from the road trips to the watch parties, just linking up with former players. It's really been a family thing, man, and we kicked some ass these 17 years, man, and it was fun. And I just want to tell the rest of the fans and the fan base out there, it ain't over. It ain't close to over. At the end of the day, we still Alabama. We're going to honor Nick Saban. And he's already got a statue. I don't know if they may rename the stadium after him. We're going to do everything that he deserves. But it's time to step it up. Now, as fans, as players, as coaches, we got to dig into our next level of greatness. We saw how far we could take it with Coach Saban. So I think it's time for all of us to get re-energized. I want to get re-energized with my content, just being a fan, just being a supporter. So that's what I'm charging everybody to do. If you're a real Alabama fan, bandwagons, y'all welcome to stay. But if you're a true blue Alabama fan, man, let's kick it up a notch. Let's be more Bama than we were before. Let's really have some fun with this thing and have continued moments like this, man. I'm gonna be on the couch. I'm gonna try to give it to y'all as much as possible. But let's love on each other. God first, football second. And yeah, man, let's have some fun with it. It ain't over. Welcome, Coach DeBoer. Looking forward to it. Hopefully, if you want to come sit on the couch.
Hey, yes, sir.
I ain't had that type of access with Nick, man. Maybe I get said or somebody on the couch, but it's been lovely, man. It's not over. Let's welcome in the DeBoer era tomorrow at 1:00. Have some fun with it. Thank all you guys for tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, and everybody that shared it. Everybody that had a comment. I know we couldn't get to everybody, but I saw it. You are appreciated. Just know that. And until we meet again, until we come live, man, God bless y'all and roll tide roll. Welcome, Coach DeBoer. Thank you, Coach Saban.
Roll tide.
Roll tide.
Shut up, Trent. I get the last roll tide. Take over, Spirit. Roll tide.